good for everyone to be here. This is Digger and the Doughboy, one night only. We've got a really cool show for you guys here tonight. What we're going to do, we're going to introduce some of the guests we've got tonight. We're going to talk a bit of cycling. We're going to talk a bit of Tour Down Under. We're even going to get in a little bit of a tech. Should we get some of the stars up? Enough about us?
Let's do it.
He's a Kiwi, hailing from Christchurch, New Zealand, making his mark on the Peloton at the Belgian Classics. He smashes over the cobbles like Jonah Lumu, smashes through tackles, the 23-year-old Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, the Pithinator, Lawrence Pithie!
How are you?
Get up here, you mad dog.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Feel free to grab the mic, mate. Relax, kick back, grab yourself a cold water, as you guys do. Who else we got, Boz?
Alrighty, hailing from Northern California, he spent more time this offseason working on his classic car collection than he did riding. He didn't finish his last 5 races of 2025, so he's on a mission here at Tour Down Under. The American, the mobster, Luke Lamperti!
Oh, we got the stars up here, the young classic men. Welcome, boys. What do you think of the venue?
Yeah, this is pretty sick, eh? It's a bit of a change from last year, but it's looking really cool.
Luke?
Nice spot you have set up here, open bar. What more could you ask for? So I think we have no complaints.
Very tempting for you guys, isn't it? It's a shame you got to do this race.
Yeah, you do all the drinking for us, though, don't you?
All right, if I have to. Ian, can you take it on?
Oddly, the beer was free, but I had to pay for the water. First time beer's been free, but water costs money. Well, I guess we're here, Tour Down Under. Luke, you're also with a new team. As I look over my intro notes, I missed a line. I said you traded the Wolf Pack for the Pink Panthers. That's what I'm calling EF this year. What's it been like? A new team? A lot has changed.
Yeah, it's been a big change for sure over the offseason. A whole new environment, new team, new equipment. So I'm looking forward to getting started here. I think it's a nice place to come down here a few weeks, enjoy summer, and get started with the new Pink Panthers.
What is that like going into a new team? Because everyone's here wondering, oh yeah, you change teams, you make it sound really easy. Is it intimidating when you come in? You're like, I don't know anyone. Is it like a first day at school? You sort of stand in the corner and wait for someone to walk over to you, or what's the go?
Yeah, it's a lot now, actually. It's I think it's more than you even think behind the scenes a bit. You know a lot of the riders. We race with a lot of the riders. I've been teammates with some of them, but I showed up to my first camp in November, and there's 300 people there, and we walk into the first night of dinner and whatever, and 10 or 15 of them, So a lot of new faces and a lot of forgetting names and introducing yourself a second, a third time. But other than that, it's just another new job, I guess. So in the end, it's a super welcoming team and been easy enough, but still, it's a big change for sure.
And Pithie, same team, coming back. In a way, you're almost like a couple years ahead of Luke. Kind of these young classic stars. You're coming into your second year with Bora. Sorry, Red Bull, Bora Hansgrohe now. Things change all the time. But how does it feel like returning to a team that you kind of know the setup? The team keeps elevating every year.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new riders this year, so it's also a big change on a training camp meeting all the new guys. But yeah, for me, last year was a big change, especially coming from a French team, speaking French, now moving into the English-speaking team was, a super nice transition for me, actually. And yeah, now I feel like not too much has changed. We've got quite a Commonwealth team here, 5 guys from, Australia, New Zealand, Scotland. So it's almost like home for me. And it's been really, really nice to, just be speaking English at the table and getting amongst it. It makes a big change, to be honest.
Last year, we talked about the big classic season ahead. You had some pretty lofty goals. You had a really lot of confidence coming out of FDJ. Big classic season. Smashed it there. We caught up during the year and we followed you through the classics. Run me through what happened, these classics, what you learned, what you were happy with, what you want to do. Take us back there. It's the best part of the year anyway.
Yeah, the classics are the best part of the year, aren't they? For me, they sort of, they're the highlight of my season. My whole season revolves around them. So, starting in Australia, it's a big goal, but it's all working towards those classics races.
Yeah, like who cares, actually? Yes, let's get to the classics, seriously.
I mean, you can say that, Mitch, but, I don't think the team would be too happy if I said that.
You can tell me, they're not listening.
Yeah, there's one over there. No, I mean, last year was interesting going into the classics. We obviously caught up quite a few times throughout, and nothing really went to plan for me. I think momentum's really important in the classics, and I didn't really have any of it, whether it was crashing in San Remo or in, anything. Mechanicals, crashing in Roubaix. I couldn't really stay on my bike, which is quite important as a pro cyclist. But hopefully I can turn it around this year. I think the form's already quite good, and it'll just be to build momentum with the new team. We've got a lot of Belgian guys coming on who are classic specialists, so we're really strengthening the team, and it's a new sort of mentality as well with Zach Dempster coming on board. He's really elevated us and has great direction, so it's good to have an Aussie at the helm, and
And Luke, what's it been like going from, historically, Quickstep has been the classics team. Over the last couple of years, it's kind of changed, and there was more of a GC focus. But then coming to a team like EF, which has actually had surprisingly a lot of success in the spring classics.
I know, surprisingly. How do they do that?
Yeah.
American team in the classics?
But they've had these riders just pop up and win a big one. What's that been like to go from that hit? The classics, both of you guys know this. There's such a untangible race. It's like you have to feel the classics. It's not like the tour where it's all on whatever your bike computer says. You kind of know if you can win or not. The classics have something that's unquantifiable, and you learn that in a Belgian team. But now you're coming back to an American team that may have a little bit less of that, the Belgian, the feel.
The feel. I think it's a little bit scary. I think notoriously, a lot of guys that have left the Wolfpack or left Quickstep have struggled in the classics, and I think that's kind of the thing everybody sees when they see people leave the team and go somewhere else to race. But at the same time, I learned a lot the last few years with them and all of the guys that have experience there in the classics. So I think taking that with me, hopefully bringing it to this team. We still have a lot of experienced guys. Asgreen also came from Quickstep. Now he's with EF. He won Flanders when he was with them, and there's still a pretty good classic squad within the team. So I think we can definitely have some rides, and I think when we do have big rides, it's more surprising than when Quickstep used to do it in the past. But I think if I take what I learned there and bring it with me, hopefully we can surprise some people as the American team.
That's what I want to know. What did you learn there? Because Quickstep, they've got all little tricks. They know when the photographers are going to come on the course, so you got to attack at that point, so you get behind the motorbikes. All these little tricks they've got there that, give us it. Can you? Or you've got it in the back pocket now.
It's the Belgian riders that keep it for themselves. It's like when they pass their grandma's house and they turn right, they know where this pothole's at, and they swerve around this, and the guy behind it hits them and they're off. It's like that type of thing where they've rode the same road on the top of some cobbled climber. If you ride on the left side, you can ride the gutter for 300 meters and get off it. And it's more the Belgian riders that know it than even the team. But a lot of the DSs there were riders, and there's a lot of knowledge of how the classics are raced and how they've done it. But at the same time, I think the sport's changing and how they're raced is changing, and there's less advantage than maybe they used to have. But still, all those guys from Belgium, Lamperti, and all those guys know the roads super well, so they are a benefit to have on your side.
Could you take us quickly inside the hotel room before, the classics? You're there in a Belgian team. You're there in Quickstep. Is it relaxed, or is it seriously like, hey, boys, we have got it. You think about everyone out there. You're doing it for the grandma on the corner.
It's a bit like that. It's pretty intense. The classics for them is the whole season. When you're on Quickstep, yes, there's the Tour de France, there's all this other stuff, but actually there's the classics. The Belgian classics are what you're there for the whole year. The whole team builds towards it. We all go to one hotel. We're all there for the whole classics. All the staff are there. The staff are just as excited as we are, and it is racing for this person, racing for that person, and the meetings get super heated and hyped up. But at the same time, I think it gets you in the mentality to go out there and fight, because in the end, it's just a 6-hour boxing match, the whole classic. So I think when you do that for 3 weeks, being around a group of guys that are also up for it is something special. And those guys, they live for it. They're from Belgium, and they're the stars of Belgium, and they want to be on the front of the TV in Belgium when the motorbikes come in front of them. So that's the way they race them.
And this is either one of you can pick this up. Because in my generation, I guess Mitch's generation of racing, there was Grand Tour riders and there were classics riders. Pogacar's thrown that to the wind and rocks up to Flanders, wins. Last year at Roubaix. How does it feel like? I feel like the Classic, you're racing the same guys week in, week out, and then all of a sudden, Pogačar shows up and just throws a wrench in everyone's plan. What is that like? Are you guys like, oh shit, is he gonna come? Is he gonna come to Roubaix this year because he can win it?
I mean, you sort of just expect it now for him to be everywhere, and if he's there, he's probably going to win. But I mean, he's greedy, isn't he? He's got to leave some for the rest of us big boys. The Classics are sort of our thing. But yeah, he does throw it out the window. There's no more Classic specialists. He just ripped up the rule book and comes and annihilates us wherever we are.
Who are you guys intimidated by in the bunch?
Van der Poel.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, he wins everything in the Classics,
And it's just like, is he the only guy you let in the wheel? If Van der Poel comes up next year and starts pushing, you're like, yeah, mate, in you go. Yep.
Especially when he was in the Rainbow Bands. I mean, riding around him, you see everyone gives him a 5-meter radius. He's got so much respect in the bunch, and everyone gives him that respect. So, I mean, it gets a little bit easier when you have his status. If I'm riding up the outside trying to move up, someone will look at me and chop me into the gutter. But if it's Van der Poel, they'll move out of his way and apologise. So I think that he's probably
everybody moves over for him, but we have less of like, I think when you were racing, there was like, once you had been there for like 5-10 years, whatever, you could tell all these young guys. Whereas like now there's so many young guys that there's less of like the old guys who in the bunch are going to scream at everyone. There's like Van der Poel got a lot of respect for who he was and being world champion, but other than that, there's not as many, I think, as there used to be.
So the helmet bop's gone. There's no more get back in your place. I said not to attack yet.
Honestly, bring it back.
Yeah, bring the helmet bop back.
We need to bring it back. It needs to come back, but
bring the bop back.
There's less of it.
I once got hit in the head. So I did like a stupid move and someone just whacked me in the face. My helmet was all crooked. But then I didn't want to admit it, so I just kept riding with this like crooked helmet and out of the way.
Helmet slaps. I love it.
Yeah.
Less cameras back then, though.
That's true.
Everything's on camera these days.
Yeah,
so
it is.
People are a bit more behaved.
I mean, I never raced a Classic. Are you guys excited on the morning of a Classic? Like, as someone who like hates cobblestones, hates rough roads, do you guys wake up in like a wet Roubaix and like, oh yeah, today's my day?
A wet Roubaix, I think you're risking your life. I've no life. When Roubaix is wet, nobody's talking at the start line, I don't think. Everybody's just sitting there nervous. So I think a wet Roubaix is a bad example, but a nice day of Flanders, I think everybody's excited. But I don't also wake up on a mountain day of a Grand Tour and think like, oh, this is going to be lovely. So I think it goes hand in hand. I don't look forward to that either.
Are you waking up on an uphill start, 20K uphill start, going, oh yeah, I've been waiting for this?
There's no fighting in the bunch. Yeah, easy
See,
at the side.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm waking up that day.
You're sick.
Yeah.
You actually are sick. Yeah, you're sick, boss.
I'm sick, yeah.
Boys, a couple of things I want to quickly talk about before we bring up our next guest to join us. But we talked heaps about the Classics, but everyone wants to know about the Grand Tours. You guys are doing the Grandies this year. Lawrence just talked about doing the Tour this year. I know, obviously, a long way out, but let's talk about the Tours. What's going to happen? Let's talk about Jonas Vingegaard doing the Giro, maybe going for the double. He can be the first guy to do all 3 Grandies before Pog. Not in the 1 year, but, get the wins. Let's talk about the Grand Tours. What are you looking forward to it about? Let's talk about you, Lawrence. The Tour on the cards, potentially, work towards that. What's the idea?
I mean, for me, I think I'll take a step back from the Grand Tours this year. I'll try and do some of the smaller races, but it's super exciting for our team. We have Remco joining us this year, so it's obviously a massive card to play, especially with Lipowitz, who came 3rd this year, and I was a part of that, which was super cool, and I think he's got so much to learn still, and he can really improve. So, yeah, if he gets another year under his belt and a Remco as a right-hand man to each other, I think, the Tour is going to be pretty interesting this year. The parkour looks insane. So I'm pretty happy to not be there looking at all those mountains. I'm not one of those thick guys who gets excited for that. So, I mean, I think all the Grand Tours are always exciting. The Tour's got something special. Lining up for it last year, I knew it would be crazy, but, it's just another level. I mean, it's always nuts starting a Grand Tour, but the Tour was extra special, so I'm really looking forward to watching it this year and seeing someone try to dethrone Poggy.
Oh, you want to see him dethroned?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Maybe by Remco or,
Yeah,
Liverwitz.
by one of my teammates.
Yeah, okay, right. We got that.
And you, Luke, what's coming up? You still haven't raced the tour, but
Yeah,
you're
so I
coming into
haven't
that
done.
age.
Yeah, haven't done the tour.
That's all right,
done
mate.
The last few,
Don't need to do the tour.
Done the last few Giros,
Never
but
did
we'll
that.
see this year. Could be on the cards, but we'll see how the start of the season goes, and then kind of play it from there. But definitely would like to do it at some point. I think we have quite a wide open team when it comes to the tour, and they had a lot of success last year with Ben Healy and the team, and we have Carpaz, so I think it's quite a opportunistic team for the tour, less so than in the past we had Remco and Quickstep, and everything was a bit built around that, which was super nice as well. But I think something a bit different could be fun. So we'll see.
Let's not forget about the best Grand Tour, the Vuelta. We haven't spoken about that yet.
How many times did you do it?
7.
And the tour, how many?
Doesn't matter, mate. We're talking about the Vuelta, all right? Primoz, he's going for 5. Let's talk about a tour that matters. It's a record. He's going for it. Can he do it? Why don't you start the Vuelta? Work on that suntan that you've already got going there. Best race of the year. Don't even need to take your rain bag.
But this just has the most mountain days. So how are we saying it's the best?
Yeah, but
race
the
of the year?
mountain,
Over the
see, they're
mountains.
hockey stick mountain stages, so they're perfect for guys like us, not Boz. Because you roll to the bottom, clip
Go
out,
easy, yeah,
and
yeah.
cruise up. It's the best tour.
See, but not anymore. It's not like that anymore. Now we just go full gas all day. Some start in the beginning, and
Well,
New
yes.
cycling, mate. New cycling. Nothing's easy
Hoagie's
anymore.
the problem. He's going to be there this year for sure.
Is he?
Probably.
Right. Then
Yeah, but-
maybe it's a different race.
You know, we can't write off Primoz going for 5. I think it'll be pretty interesting if he can do it. Definitely got something to prove if he's not doing the tour. So I think he'll have a clean run into it. And when he's motivated, he's a different beast. So yeah, it'll be really interesting.
Should we get our next guest up?
Let's bring him up.
Because I think I want to talk a little bit of tech. Who have we got here? Let's have a look. Oh, that's right. He's a bike nerd, an absolute tool wrencher. When it comes to knowing the ridiculous red tape the UCI is going to throw down, no one knows better than the master, the guru, Dave Rome. That's yours, Romy.
Hello. Sorry, no bike for the intro, but I'm here.
Yeah, you don't need one. You could have come with swinging the tool wrench.
Considered
Yeah, or chain whip.
Yeah. Very underprepared.
There's a bit going on, Dave. You've been around the village. You've been taking some photos. Let's get some photos up behind, because I think this is really interesting. So the UCI come in every year and they try and ban a few things. Let me see if we can get this going here, just to make it interesting. But I don't understand all this. I'm not about that. I can barely mechanic my own bike. I'm one of those pros that sort of just rolls it into the mechanics and hopefully they get it done. So what is going on here? What's the new tech that we need to be aware of? And these guys, if they don't already know it, but I'm assuming the new generation, they're already all over that.
I'd say the thing that annoyed you guys the most over the last few months is probably handlebar rollings. So that's been a bit of trial and error. Like you could tilt your hoods in and have really narrow handlebars, and then you couldn't, and then there had to be a certain angle. And now, starting this year, there's actual limits over how narrow you can be, and also the shape of the handlebar that you can use. And they're claiming it's for safety. Whether that's the case or not, I mean, it's. I don't think they have any data to show that it is for safety. But yeah, they just needed new ways to measure things.
Does it actually make a massive difference having the bars smaller? You guys know. What sort of bars did you guys ride?
I ride 38 centimeter bars with my hood's tilted in a little bit. So I think the studies definitely show that the narrower the bar, the more aero and more advantage you have. And our engineers do a lot of work behind that, working with Specialized. They're really onto it. But I've run a pretty stock standard setup my whole career, so I don't really fringe on any of the regulations. But yeah, I think the narrower, the faster, but also the more dangerous. You see some guys with pretty outrageous setups now, and yeah, the way they twitch in the bunch, yeah, it's scary to be around. So I think there's goods and there's pros and cons to it for sure.
What'd you run in? 44s, 46s?
44s. Yeah. I mean, I guess, is there any, do you guys have any awareness of aesthetics of cycling? I feel like cycling is a beautiful sport because of the way it looks. And I see someone's bars that look ridiculous and the hoods are like nearly touching each other. I'm like, maybe it's faster, but you just look terrible.
That's why I don't run them. I don't have them either. But I think a lot of guys have interesting setups, and there's marginal gains and all this, that, and the other. But I don't know. I've always ran a pretty stock setup as well with 40 bars, and now I'm on 38 with 40 in the drops, and hood's pretty straight. So I've never done anything special either, but I think there's a lot of guys on the marginal gains.
What did you notice down in the village today? You got to roam through. Not everyone's press pass gets in there, so you were lucky to get in there. What have we got any images of anything that you find interesting that people can look at? These bottles, they look fun.
Yeah, so that's the aero bottle that makes the Trek Madone go fast. Without those bottles, it is, I believe, potentially slower than the last bike.
So there's an engine in here.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
nice, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So they're banned.
No, they're
right.
allowed. The weird thing with that, though, is that they're allowed, and Trek made a big deal about how that makes the bike go fast, but this year the women aren't using them because apparently the bottles are too big to catch. So while they're on the move through a feed zone, they can't get them. So the men are running them, the women don't have that aero advantage.
So the women are on a slower bike than previous.
Seems so.
I mean, I guess while you're figuring this out, Mitch, both of you riders, I mean, the UCI has been making all these rules essentially to try to slow the Peloton down. Do you feel like speed is what's actually...
New generation.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like speed is actually what's... Do you feel like if you went slower, there'd be less crashes? Because my thought is the slower you go, the more bunched up the Peloton's going to be. There's going to be more crashes.
I think it depends on how much you slow it down or if this is the issue. I think a lot of it's going to be the riders always. You know, it's how much risk everybody's willing to take at the end of the day. So if everyone's willing to take a lot of risk, then there's going to be crashes. You know, I think there's more on the line and there's a lot behind it and everybody's getting a lot of pressure. So I think you can take away radios, you can take away this, that, and the other. Yeah, you could try to make it slower, but how do you make it slower for everybody? You know, that's always the question. Do you put slower tires? Do you change chain rings? What do you do? But I think if people are going to take risk, they're always going to take risk no matter what bike you put them on. You know, if we all race on these fixie bikes that are back here in the back of the room, I think we're still going to have a lot of crashes.
Yeah, maybe in like 20 minutes when we do the race, we might have a crash.
Yeah, we might have one then as well.
What's going on with this? A nice new paint job. Is that what we're looking at?
Basically, yeah. No, that's the only new bike in Adelaide at the moment, it seems. That's not released yet, so the EF team... care to speak about that at all?
It might be the fastest bike in Adelaide as well. We're not sure. We don't know, but
yeah, so
it might be the fastest one.
That's a bike I had to wait for the race to start before I was allowed to photograph it. New Cannondale. But yeah, that's everything else is, I guess, seen before for this race.
Oh, wow. New bottle cages.
No, old bottle cages. Yeah, that's the women's bottle cages. The photo's a bit out of order, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a trend. Positional changes are happening at the moment. Move to shorter cranks. Along with that, a lot of teams moving to SRAM, which have the shorter cranks. Shimano stops at about 165, I believe. But yeah, a lot of positional changes. A lot of riders, like you'll see now, have their saddles slammed all the way forward to the maximum that the bike allows. The nose of the saddle's chopped off to allow that, so the UCI doesn't get angry. Short cranks and very, very far forward positions over the front end of the bike. And it's just about trying to get very low and out of the wind. So,
what crank length are you guys on?
170s. Rode 170s since I was a junior, and yeah, just stayed with 170.
Yeah, I'm also 170.
Normal.
170.
Pretty boring guys, aren't we? You guys need to get some tech people in here. You need to get someone aero in here. We're obviously not.
It's still
we're
short.
not aero enough.
I was riding 180s in the classics for leverage.
Really?
Yeah.
That's old
Classics.
school
I'd
mentality,
change
though.
the cranks for the classics, 180s, and then I'd ride 175s the rest of the time.
That's old school nowadays.
Very old school. What are these things? Oh, you can't see, Lawrence.
it's a very, very wide bike. Yeah, it's the praying mantis from Factor, and basically
I'm pretty good at crashing.
it's an example of one of the new UCI rules that they brought in was a maximum width over how wide that front fork can be, and then how wide the rear end can be. And that bike is an example of like to the millimeter to the maximum. So no one can go wider, thankfully. But yeah, I think that's kind of a trend that the UCI is trying to slow down or stop again. It's trying to keep bikes in check as far as not getting too hideous, but also around the optimization. Like, in my opinion, that's not an everyday bike anymore. That is a pro-only race product.
It could be though, because you could fit probably a 50 mil tyre
You
in
can.
that Bos,
Yes.
and you could ride that in gravel.
Yes.
I'm liking that.
Yeah, I think it does fit a 50. So
Does it?
yeah, officially, I think so. But
They're
yeah,
big.
I mean, I guess for me, it's also an aesthetics thing.
yeah,
You know, it's just like I love the aesthetics of a bicycle.
Yes.
And I see that, and it looks like a rocket ship.
it breaks all the
It
rules.
sort of
Yeah.
looks a bit
Yeah.
alien, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And these are obviously lovely. You took this photo because of the aesthetics again.
Yep, same story. So yeah, that's the women's UAE bike with the Y1 RS. So like same as what Poggy's on, and yeah, it's basically just all out aero. But what we're seeing in that team at the moment is they've basically got this super aero bike that is quite heavy, and now they're bringing in all these crazy technical partners to get the weight back out of the bike. So they've ditched the aero bottle cages in the men's team. They've gone to standard bottle cages. They're changing out like the bar tape now. They're using all sorts of weird carbon chain rings that don't really shift very well. But yeah, it's all done to just try get that bike a little bit closer to 7 kilos rather than the closer to 8 kilos that it was when they first started on it.
Is this for you to listen to this going, wow, this is actually interesting for me? You're like, oh, old news, this is what we're already doing.
Well, I think it's. I think in the end, the team set up the bikes at the end of the day, and there's only so much freedom or option you have. So in the end, they make a really good setup. I think everybody has a pretty competitive bike nowadays, and the rest is the legs.
Next thing, again, aesthetics. This
Yes.
year, a new rule: there's no time trial helmets in road races, which to me
Yes.
sounds obvious.
Yes.
But, yeah, but I mean, did either of you guys ever wear a time trial helmet in a road race? Good.
I would refuse to, I think.
I think I refuse to do it, but I think there is no. Jumbo can still use theirs. No.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's some rules around it. So yeah, new
What
for
do they
this
make
year.
different rules for different teams? You're allowed to wear it. EF, no.
Yeah, it just depends on the budgets. But no, it's the rule is in mass start road races, they're not allowed to wear an official time trial helmet. But how they're governing that is basically they're just saying it needs to have 3 or more vents to be a road helmet, and it can't have a visor. So basically, they're insisting that you have like a tuft of hair through the vent, and that you keep your sunglasses sponsors happy. So otherwise, it's free reign.
Last one here. The other rule for this year: maximum tire or wheel depth. What, 65 millimeters in
It's
20,
now
26?
65, which left a few brands upset. Yeah, like Black Ink and Zip and Swisside, I think, were brands that were left trying to argue with the UCI that they had wheels that were previously approved for race use and now had wheels in the market that they were no longer allowed to race on or even sell. Well, no one would buy them because they're not UCI approved. So yeah, 65 depth, and that goes back to something you said, Boz, which is it's all about slowing down the Peloton, and I think that's a desperate measure, to be honest. I don't really think a 2 millimeters here or there is going to make the difference for safety, but
No.
65 was the number they picked.
They do this now
Yeah.
in gravel as well, no, boss? They're doing this in
No-
gravel. Come
no
on, these
rules.
gravel guys are doing the same thing.
No,
They
no.
act like they're not, but they're doing all the same marginal gains now.
I did go to what does Specialized call it? The wind tunnel? Yeah, I went there and I didn't change anything.
You're already the fastest.
already
Yeah, I was so fast. Yeah.
Doing it at home.
Yeah, exactly. No, man, I mean, I guess it's cool to me to like see the tech. I guess also as someone who rides bikes, it also like blows my mind that there are things that are now in the market that are, I mean, the pro rider should be using the best equipment, and now it's a case where sometimes the pro riders can't actually use the fastest equipment, which is kind of the opposite of how it should be.
Yeah, and I think that's a scary trend that we're going down as we're seeing with like that Factor and the Colnago that we saw. Incredibly expensive bikes. They are selling them, but incredibly pricey bikes. I believe they're pro-only product, and the UCI has this commercialization rule that insists the product is available for retail purchase. But I think we're increasingly going down this path of like brands wanting the marginal gains and wanting their riders to be that watt or two faster, and creating bikes that aren't actually in line with the idea of the commercialization rule. And so we're going to increasingly get bikes that are insanely expensive, not practical for everyday use, but are basically being marketed to people to buy because it looks cool or it's what their favorite rider uses. And I think that's something the UCI probably should look at. They are addressing that on the track side in line with the Los Angeles Olympics. They're bringing in price caps for the amount your product can be valued at, and I think realistically they might need to consider that on the road because we're in the day and age where some riders are getting custom skin suits made and have $1,000 custom socks. And
should we do some forecasting? Not weather forecasting. I'm talking about season forecasting.
Yeah.
Our ideas about what's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Have you got an idea?
So you guys think about this. We're all
Have a
going to give
think.
one prediction, one forecast for the year. And this one maybe puts a little bit of pressure on you. Actually, question for this. Has an American ever won a monument?
No.
I mean, it's kind of a complicated question because the answer is yes. But it was Tyler Hamilton in 2003, won Liège. So my forecast is that this will be the year, potentially Luke, that an American will win a monument once again.
When he's not lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Who have you thought about who that American's going to be?
I mean, potentially Luke. I guess my best bet would probably be Matteo Jorgensen at Liège once
Nice.
again. Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to forecast that the Pog is going to get all 5 monuments finally. He's going to take Roubaix and San Remo this year. He was close last year. Learn at Roubaix. He's going to take it back and he's going to clinch it. That's it. That's my forecast. What are you thinking, boys? One forecast from inside the Peloton, maybe something interesting. Lawrence?
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about that one
It
for a
is a
good
tough one, isn't it? I'll go against you and say Van der Poel will stop Pog again in San Remo and in Roubaix.
He's going to win both.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd back that. I would say,
He's-
but
Dave, have you got something or do you need more time, Luke, to think?
yeah, if he has something already.
You're not going to like give me a bet. I just gave you a compliment. What about Ian wins Unbound again?
Are you riding it? I forecast Ian will not ride.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would say somebody from not one of the big teams will win the Vuelta this year. Like not UE, not Ineos, not Jumbo will win. Not Red Bull.
From Caja
We'll put them. Somebody in the not big budget teams that you say will win the Vuelta.
Wow,
As in-
I like that.
Who do you
As
pick
in,
then?
like-
Come on, you've got to
Yeah.
put a name on it. That's
I don't-
very vague.
Tell you what. I was out riding today, and Guillaume Martin came flying past me on the climb. So maybe Guillaume Martin.
If I were to put a name on it, I'd say somebody in like the list of guys that would be like Ben O'Connor from Jayco, or even like a Pidcock could have a crack at it, or somebody Carapaz from us if he does it. He's doing Giro Tour, but
It's a good shot.
somebody out of the realm of like these top 4 or 5 Grand Tour guys will win Vuelta.
Yeah.
Dave?
we're just going to have to do a tech theme because the racing isn't my specialty. But I'm going to guess we're going to see a time trial rider injure a collarbone putting on a skin suit. So
Brilliant.
they're getting very small, very custom. So, yep.
Hi everybody, I'm Phil Liggett and you're listening to Life in the Peloton with Mitch Docker. Brought to you by our friends at Map.
All right, boys, we're double parked up here. A couple of beers going. Just to rehydrate.
You know, it's been hard. It's hard work.
Well, should we get into the next part? The next part, we're going to really talk about TDU. That's why we're all here. And I want to bring up our next guest. Let's get him going. Should we intro him in? The man behind the wheel, the voice on the radio. Relieved when he wasn't making that decision not to keep Pat Eddy on. Still grieving after the Ashes whitewash. Picnic Post NL Sport Director, Matt Winnie the Pooh Winston. He's gone around the long way. Get in, mate. Grab a mic.
Alrighty. The Polish Prince, a former world champion, winner of La Primavera. He used to train with tubular tires so his wife would come pick him up if he flatted. The motorcycle, Michał Kwiatkowski!
Grab a mic.
Yeah, cheers. Hi, everyone.
All right, our last guest. Three-time national champion from the mean streets of Wandilligong. He'll smash the pedals and then smash a cold one. The ride-on mower outlaw, the master of disaster, Luke Plapp. Plappy. Nice to meet you.
I don't think we have raced together. You're too young. Yeah. Gentlemen, Tour Down Under. We're here. The season is days away. I guess my first question, I guess for Plapp it's obvious, but Kwiatkowski. Your whole family. I was going to ask, why are you here in Australia to race Tour Down Under? But you've just been on a month-long holiday with your family in Australia. It sounds pretty nice.
Man, to be honest, my career was long, but I was pretty much stupid and that I didn't came here earlier. I was listening most of the time to Luke Rowe saying, yeah, come to Australia, it's nice. And I was like, yeah, bullshit, It's just like, I don't believe you, you're probably going there for holidays. But since I came here last year, I'm like, this is amazing, the nicest period of the year. Training is nice, the weather, the food, the people. And last year I couldn't bring my family. They've been sick just before I had to take a flight. And this time they came with me and we're just enjoying so much. So I should actually extend my career because of, I enjoy it here so much.
We're hearing it here first. More years for Kwiato.
Breaking news, not retiring.
Plappy, why start it down under, mate? Why would you do that?
It's the best race there is. It's the most fun. We have all our sponsors here. The team love it. The Aussies love it. It's the race we get the most support at. And there's nothing more motivating than in your off-season or pre-season in summer to train for something like this and try to do well in front of family and friends. So I haven't missed one yet, and I can't see myself ever missing one.
And Matt, someone behind, Kwiato's here for fun. You live here. As someone who's in the car directing, how do you keep that balance of making sure riders come here, they have a good time? It's a great way to build camaraderie for the season, but it's a World Tour race. People are chasing points. This race matters.
Yeah, for sure. And over the last few years, I think there's more and more emphasis gone on this race. And certainly since COVID now, everyone's racing the next race like it's their last race. And it's super important. It's busy when you're down here, but it's also super fun. And there is that relaxed atmosphere around the race. Everyone in the same hotel. It's got a nice, friendly feel. It's nice and relaxed. It is a good way to kick off the season.
Has it been hard for you? Everyone giving you sort of shit every day about the Ashes and that?
I'm from Lancashire, so you travel down here, it's 1 degree at home at the moment. Come here, it's 37 degrees. You've got people abusing you about the Ashes non-stop. I'm doing the women's race in the day.
Rightly so, though, yeah.
Men's race next week, so busy period for me, but yeah, keeping my head down. Keeping the accent out as well.
Yeah. So let's run through the first test. Let's rewind back.
I watched every ball of the first test as well. So I set my alarm every day. I was up, motivated. I thought we're gonna pump them. This is the one.
Oh yeah.
And I thought,
been listening to Brody too much.
Yeah, of course. And then I thought, it's Perth. We're always shitting Perth. And then next test came, got absolutely pummeled again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch anymore.
And then the third test came and
I watched that one.
Yeah. Got smashed.
Won the fourth. That's what counts.
We gave up
another moral victory for England.
Right. Down under. We should talk about the stages. I think this year, I was here presenting the new Tour Down Under earlier this year, and we went through the stages, and I got brought across here by the organisation, so I was excited for them. But actually, it is a pretty hard race. I don't know, if you had a chance to look into it, sports director's view, what do you think of the race in terms of where it sits from your normal, where it sits in the season, and also where it sits as a Tour Down Under? This race is getting harder and harder. It's more important for everyone. They talk about it. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think the organisation done a fantastic job over the last few years to make the race harder. When I looked at the road book back in October, I was like, we can win this race. Things changed. Probably not going to win the GC now, but I think we come here with a pretty good team, and But yeah, I think they've done a really good job to make it exciting. You also see that the first 2 days of the women's race, you got a breakaway, getting caught running into the final. Like, everyone's glued to the screen in the last 5K, and that's what you want.
And Kwiatkowski, you're here. You guys have a good team. Mitch and I were looking through the start list before this. I'm like, they don't have a sprinter. And I'm like, oh, actually, you got Wellsford. He's pretty quick.
Yeah, but, as you said, they're making the race each year harder and harder, and they take away some sprint stages. Obviously, the crit is out, and there's not so many opportunities for some yet. But the stage one, obviously, we were gonna go for it, and having the sprinter in the team back again. I was racing in the past with CAF with many good sprinters, and just not having that a pure sprinter in the team, it's a big miss. And having Sam, he's on it, so I will be on it for the lead out.
Before we get to Down Under, Plappy, we've got to address the elephant in the room. What's happening in the base? There was a big chat about the Nationals. Is it all water under the bridge? Coming to this race, you've got to have the team focused. The media's jumped on that. They love all that stuff. Tell me, mate, how have you got the group back together? Has the group got back together, or is it all sleeping in separate hotels?
No. Yeah, this is the biggest race almost of the year for us. We've got a super strong team. Ben's back, which is awesome to have Ben back at this race. So between Ben, Marrow, and myself, it's going to be a super exciting week, and it's something that we want to make the most of. We've got all the sponsors here, basically, from the team. So for us, there's a lot of commitments, and that brings a lot of pressure as well to perform in front of all the sponsors. So we've reset after last week, and then hopefully can win this race. It's been a few years since we have, so it'd be nice to get one back on the board.
So Picnic Post didn't sign Pat. You guys are going to pick him up?
That's for management.
Yeah.
I think Matt's more upset about Kwiato taking Oscar than us not having Pat at the moment.
It's a bit awkward, this panel, isn't it, now?
Isn't it? As soon as you can put him a little bit under, this is very polished at the start. We've got to get around under the pressure, don't we, Boz?
Yeah, we do, yeah. I never raced Tour Down Under, so it's cool to be here. It's, this year, starting with a prologue. Also, I actually love a prologue. Kwiato, we were teammates. I hate a time trial bike. Prologue on a road bike, great way to start the season. I think all time trials should be on road bikes because it's a wormhole, those TT bikes.
Just looking back at my career, I won some prologues, and like in the last 5 years, I do very little of them. I don't know why we're not doing them anymore. They are great. It's opening the race like that. It's a great fun, I think, for us and for the people. Around, like straight away you've got like small differences in the GC, and then people have to chase, defend themselves, and I just love it. I know it's a road bike, but still, it's 3K prologue. It's good effort.
You know what I'm hearing about that? And this is the way I used to think. It's 3K. It's one stage less.
I mean, we just did 500 meters back there. We're almost done.
I know. Well, I don't know if I could have done 3K at that pace. This TDU is broken down, in my opinion, into 3 important stages. Everyone's talking about twice up the corkscrew, never been done, which will be really interesting. 3 times up Wollonga, which hasn't been ever done. Plus, you've also got that Chandler's Hill at the start, but typically at Down Under, they don't race like in Europe up the climbs early on. And then the Stirling last stage. But no one's talking about the Narain stage, stage 3. It's 2,500 metres of climbing. Wollonga's 2,500 metres. What's harder, 2,500 metres going up 3 hills or 2,500 metres with no climbs?
I mean, I would say Wollonga's probably easier because, Mitch, you just said in the first segment, you can just sit in and then take it easy up the last climb. But if you get dropped early in that stage, it's a day over.
Well, I think that day up and down all day, that's going to be a hard stage. Wollonga's got to be harder. You got 3 hard climbs, like you said. What do you think, guys? Is there any talk about that stage 3?
We did the recon of the stage 3, and obviously, as I said, there's only 2 opportunities for the sprinters. It's day 1 and obviously stage 3. So if you look at it this way, obviously we want to deliver Sam on the stage 3, but there will be some other stronger guys like Matthew Brennan or some guys, they will try to drop him, and this stage might turn into a very hard stage to just try to drop a pure sprinters, yeah.
What do you think Matt, as a DS, what are the stages you're looking at? What's the advice you're giving them about twice up corkscrew? The run-in typically is all important up corkscrew because you're coming down through the gorges. It's crazy, but this time you got to go up there once, but you got to do it again. Will that change the race at all?
I think kind of also depends on how the temperature goes in the coming days as well, because today was super hot. And I think there you'll see the race exploding just again under the pressure of the temperatures that are on the road. And going into those climbs, it's going to be about staying cool, staying calm, kind of with the ice, with the water, and just kind of getting into those relaxed. But I think to go back to your point on stage 3, maybe like 5-6 years ago, anything that was kind of 2,100 meters, you'd look at it and say, that's maybe too hard for the sprinters. It's kind of changed now, and they're going longer, like 2,500, 2,600, and it's still a sprint day. And I think we will see that in the final. And the difference with Wollonga, it's obviously a hilltop finish. There'll be a big battle into that. If there's crosswinds, that'll also affect it on the running. But I do think stage 3 will be for the sprinters. And there's Stirling stage. You go and ride 1 lap, and you think, it's not so hard, this. But when you look at 8 laps around there, that is real grippy. And I think you'll see that'll be raced like a one-day race, and the race will start to explode in the final 2 or 3 laps.
A more important question, Plappy. Take your pro head off, your pro hat. You're riding around. You know this course. Everyone here wants to know, where can I go and watch? What's the best spot to watch? Park up with an esky, have a few cold ones. If you weren't racing, where would you go this week?
I think for the corkscrew stage especially, you got to be on corkscrew. It's a super easy ride out there. It's going to be where all the action happens. That's where everyone's going to be trying to make a difference. And then it's straight down the hill back into Adelaide. I think that's the best place to be. Wollonga, you've got to be on the mountain. There's no atmosphere like it. I think that's the one climb and the one stage that we have of racing in Australia that can compete with the big mountains in Europe. I was always up there watching Richie when he used to do it, and it's just an amazing atmosphere. And for us riders riding up Wollonga, it's the only chance in Australia we sort of have that atmosphere. The other stages are a bit far away. If you want to go to Tanunda, there's some beautiful wineries out there. You can probably park up and watch it on the TV.
Stirling, grab a pub.
Stirling, sit at the pub, watch us come by for 8 laps. That'd be unbelievable racing. We haven't done that circuit for a while, but it always seems to deliver great racing, and there's some amazing cafes and pubs around Stirling that you can park up for the whole day, which I think is the benefit of having a circuit to finish. And then obviously the prologue finishes around the crit circuit, which is awesome just to watch 140 guys come in every single minute sprinting for the line and taking risks. And if you put yourself on a corner, you might see a few people slide out. Some people always find that entertaining.
Should we talk about some contenders? Who's going to win this race? There's a lot of riders out there. The names are out there. Boz, have you got any thoughts about who might win this race? Do you think we can see a back-to-back with Navarez? What are you thinking?
He was good last year. I watched this from home last year, and I really enjoyed it. Romo from Movistar. He's kind of got a cool haircut too.
They got
the Aussie
Whitey
mullet
behind the wheel too. Aussie.
Yeah. I'm going to go outside bet and say Romo.
Romo.
They've also got, who's in the DS car now?
Matt White. Yeah.
Matt White, yeah. So they've got home field advantage now.
Who are you thinking? Winnie?
Put me on the spot there. I think it's going to be actually quite an interesting race. I think it can be pretty open. Not going to nail a name down right now. But
nail one.
No, I'm not going to nail one. I think kind of UAE have come with a real strong team, like directly off the bat, like be looking to also get the season going. They're always strong, those guys. Jayco, they're desperate, so they'll be hunting.
Totally. Pat Eddy.
Pat Eddy's got a good shout for Pat Eddy, yeah. Aussie national champ. The people would love it.
Rudy would love that.
Kwiato, we spoke about your sprinter, but you guys also have some GC ambitions here. Jack Haig, Hamilton, maybe yourself?
Yeah, I would have to chop off some weight, I think, to just go up Wollonga that fast.
Still time. Still time.
Yeah, we will not give up, There's always opportunity, right? But obviously there are some stronger guys. Oscar would be good to have him
Oscar
here.
would have been perfect.
Yeah, but he's not here. So, I would go for Jay Vine, to be honest, because I think with the prologue, he will set himself really well there in the GC. So that's my bet, yeah.
Plappy?
Mauro by the length of the Flemington Straight. Confidence.
I was having a few pints with Mauro last night down the Franklin. Oh, wait. No, sorry, with another guy, same name.
Haven't you ever heard of beer legs? It's a wonderful thing.
2 days before, Stewie told me. 2 days before, you can do whatever you want. and it'll be all in the legs. Stewie's another mate that I know back home, not the race organiser. All right, what about another one? We've talked about winners, contenders. Let's talk about forecasting. What's going to happen in this race that maybe you don't, you could just forecast a winner, but we've sort of just done that. Something that's a bit more interesting. We did forecasting for the season. Boz, what's on the radar? What are you forecasting for this race?
My forecast is that Danny Van Poppel gets 2 yellow cards while here.
Nice. Good way to start the season. Living dangerously.
He's good at those yellow cards.
Isn't he?
He's real good, yeah.
He topped out. I'm tipping that the Sween dog is going to podium here. He's a roughie. Harry Sweeney, he told me on the inside that he's going well. He's going to be on the podium, I reckon. What are you forecasting, Plappy? What's the weather saying?
It's changing every day. When you get in the Hilton lift, they've got the weather forecast up there. You get in the lift, you always look at what it's going to look like. The start of the week and the middle of the week looks relatively okay. And then 3 times up Willunga looks like it's going to be 35 plus. So I think Willunga's going to be... I would have said Corkscrew is the most decisive stage. I think that is the hardest stage and where the biggest gaps will appear. But if it does get 35 degrees on Saturday at Willunga, that could crack a few people. And I think that'll be where the difference is made.
So you're forecasting that the Stirling stage will be essentially an Adelaide stage rolling around and champagne beer ride. It'll be all done in Willunga.
I think if you've got up Corkscrew and finished stage 3 strong and you're getting up Willunga, you shouldn't have too many problems around Stirling if you've got through the 2 harder days already.
Nice.
Yeah.
The lucky last. The Kwiatkowski. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, forecast. You mean for...
Not weather, just what's going to happen. Not who's going to win. What are we going to see?
Yeah,
Some
what are you going to see?
surprises?
Like, you're going to see...
I think that prologue will set pretty much everything into calm kind of race in the minute. I think J Vine will smash the prologue. Hopefully not, but that's my bet. And, UAE has such a strong team. They control everything. They can control, basically, even the... they will set up the pace, which, nobody can really do anything about it. And, talking about, just doing another Corkscrew and, going up another Willunga, that actually sometimes makes the racing easier because you know what's coming. Like going down the gorge, if you're going down the gorge just once and that's your final effort up Corkscrew, it's madness. Nobody know what to expect and everybody's stressing for so much, area than, but going there before in the early, early kilometers of the stage, you actually get familiar with the roads. You know what to expect. You speak to the boys who are on the radio, where we're gonna move, and etc. So that makes actually people more calm. Same with Willunga. So more, I know on the profile gonna look harder, but for us as riders in the bunch, that makes the cycling kind of easier, like Stirling stage, 8 times there. I know, yeah, it's ridiculous, but everybody know each meter of the road, so that makes pretty, predictable racing as well.
Well, boys, you've set it up for a big TDU. Has everyone got a bit of an idea where they want to go, what they want to do? Boys, the all-important question, does it happen anymore, the old TDU breakup after the race, Plappy, Kwiato?
I've got a flight 8:30 p.m. back to Wandillagong, so I'll be with my cows by about midnight after the race.
It doesn't happen anymore, Boz. This used to be a bit of a early season meet and greet after the race, but I think it's all done and dusted.
Yeah, I guess I speak to Luke Rowe about this, Kwiatkowski. Like, there's no... I see Matt Heyman out there. We were teammates. There used to be this switch in cycling. It was you're on and you're off. Race is over. Cool. Let's go get some beers. You once changed our flights after you won Strade Bianche because you're like, hey, we won. We're going to have a party. Yeah. People don't... this guy's got to get back to his cows.
Well, I guess if you win, is there a change of flights?
I think Jerry will be the boss of that. I'm sure he'll organise something if we win.
Are people still going out, Kwiatkowski?
I learned over the years that actually, because I'm not winning so often anymore, that if there is opportunity to celebrate, you celebrate. So, if we would have something to celebrate in the end of Down Under, I would definitely change my flight and go big, because that...
Just like after the 4th test, mate, you guys went big.
I was going to say, we don't have much to celebrate down under, so we'll also we'll knock the froth off a few if we win one.
And if you don't, you'll knock one off anyway.
I'll still knock one off anyway.
Let's do it. Look, we had the roller derby at the back, boys. Can I tempt you into a race? It was a big one before. What are we thinking? We've got Matt Heyman in the house. I would like to see the two DS's race. Yeah. Heyman. The 2016 Paris-Roubaix winner versus Winnie the Pooh. Let's do it. Let's get him on. Let's set it up. He's leading out on the velodrome. Matty, welcome.
Thank you. I've been set up, I believe.
You have, royally. So, this one's slower if you're not fast. And if you're riding this one, if Ian's riding that one, it's slow. If I'm riding this one, it's also slow. Boys, it's not about power, it's about cadence. Smooth is fast, Matt. Have you ever said that in the radio?
No.
Winnie, eat and drink, mate. Eat and drink.
I was saying that all day today.
Who thinks that England can come back in the final test and get behind Matt Whitson? Yes! The 2016 Paris-Roubaix winner. He's got one lap left on the track. Can he do it? Matt Heyman. All right, are we ready? Set. Go! Oh, it's even. They're dead even. Oh, they're dead even still. Come on. Smooth as fast. Let's go. Oh, Matt Heyman's just in front. He's come around. Matt Whitson, this is it. It's too close to call. Matt Heyman, come on, you've got to go deep. You've got to go deep. Oh, he's on. Stokesy, he's going to do it. Oh, it's a dead heat. It's a dead heat. It actually was a dead heat. You guys, it's like a post-tour criterium. You fixed it.
I can't talk at the moment.
Well done, Matt.
Oh, I'm going to spew up, man.
Nice one. Give him a round of applause.
This is Life in the Peloton with Mitch Docker.